The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing games are missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, 90 days of boxing, day number 62. Wow. They're just zooming right by.
Blind.
You guys are getting the very rare. This is a very rare True School Sports afternoon live. You guys know I'm more of a nighttime guy. I'm more of a night owl, but in life, you got to make adjustments, and life is so crazy for me at this point that really and truthfully, I got to make adjustments sometimes. So I'm going live a little earlier. I'm going to speak about this now because this is really the big topic in boxing. This is really the big thing that everyone can't stop talking about. And really, it's a slow week in boxing. There's no big fights, so there really isn't much a whole lot else to talk about as far as the big names in boxing. So yeah, with that being said, shout out to everyone here. Shout out to Jesus Sam in the building. He says saludos. Skills pay the bill. He said, yo. And then Usama the fanboy killer, he's coming out the box, swinging like it's the 12th round. He said, I blame Canelo fans. They enabled this diva attitude. And listen, Usam, it's not just the Canelo fans. I feel like a lot of the boxing media over the years, they have enabled this attitude. They have been afraid to ask tough questions. I mean, anybody who followed the Andre stuff years ago, they know that Canelo Alvarez doesn't like to be pressed on anything, inside or outside the ring. But nonetheless, Pops, you got Pops here. I've been rambling.
What we got?
Pops, you got anything to say?
Yeah, I just want to say that the reason Canelo was avoided Benavidez all the way around is because he didn't want to get his ass kicked real bad by Benavidez before he retired, and that's why it really happens. He don't want to fight a guy like that as he's going to the end. And then he also brought up something about, I'll say real quick about GG. He said, well, your fans requested me to fight GG. I fought GG. Yeah, you fought him the third time when he was older.
He fought the Golovkin, so I give him his credit, but it was like pulling teeth. Okay. He was trying to, I remember before they fought the first time, he threatened to not fight Golovkin unless Golovkin came out at 155 to fight him.
Jeez.
So let's not like he just jumped into the fire and fought Golovkin. That took some time too. But anyway, get to a couple comments and then we'll get into everything. So here we go. So Usam says that's true, BT. The reality is Canelo ain't the face of boxing if he can't turn events he's part of into a profit. Yeah, and that's why people don't like what you're saying. I don't get into the whole face of boxing thing because I already made a video and said that I don't believe in the face of boxing because I don't think anybody in boxing right now is that transcendent worldwide to say that. There hasn't been a particular face of boxing since probably Floyd or Pacquiao, and if you want to include those guys, maybe you can go back to Mike Tyson. But yeah,
that term though, with how they use it is the money maker. So they feel that he's the face of boxing because he's the money maker at this time. Only in certain places he goes, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Boxing Magic Mexide. I only see him when I talk about Canelo. So good to see you in the chat. He says Canelo knows and everyone knows that Benavidez is a damn heavyweight. Well, look, I've said that many times. I'm the guy that used to hate on this fight, right? I'm just speaking on the fact that the reality is he became a champion in the weight class Benavidez competed in, and he didn't really show that ambition to fight him. And now he's asking for generational to fight him. So we'll get into all that. But yeah, Benavidez is a big kid. I'm glad he's at I'd rather him be at light heavyweight and fight these guys like Benavidez and Bivol than fight Canelo. But look, it ain't about what I want. All right, because if I got what I want, a lot of you guys would be upset. All right, so it ain't about me. I'm not selfish. It's about the boxing fans. It's about the public. The public wanted to see Benavidez versus Canelo, not BT. So that's what we're here talking about. But shout out to everyone here. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. Leave your comments down below. Subscribe, like, super chat, all that good stuff. Because there's a lot to discuss. So we'll get to the main idea of the live. The main idea that the whole comment and quote that this entire live is based upon is this right here. Dave Benavidez tells Canelo to find his balls and fight. Now, this is just him responding to what Canelo said at the press conference. You got to remember, guys, he was at the press conference. And he started throwing out numbers. And, they always say in boxing, you should never negotiate to the media, but he's throwing out numbers. He's throwing out what the prices are. So he said $150 to $200 million, right? So Benavidez came on Instagram yesterday and he stated this, the following, and I quote, "If I have nothing to offer, then why are you demanding that you get $150 to $200 million to fight someone who isn't worth anything. Hopefully, after you make that $150 million, you have enough left over to buy a pair of nuts.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So, what do you make of that?
I think it's great how you brought it back out. I mean, here's Canelo saying that making this outrageous price to make the fight happen, and to me, like I said, that's a clear quack, 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 duck, 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 and he doesn't really want to fight him. And I think it was smart for him to turn it back around and say, okay, if I'm not that value, then why you put it in your own language, in your own words, come out with that value. So I am valuable. You just don't want to fight me.
And apart from what he said here, guys, you know what the great thing about the internet is?
Mm-hmm.
Is it could serve sometimes in situations like this. Sometimes it can serve as a time machine, a time capsule for how long things have been going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe even I didn't realize it until yesterday. I was patrolling Twitter, and what did I find? I found this right here. This is what I found. And for because I know in this chat, there's gonna be Canelo fanboys. I know in the playback there's gonna be Canelo fanboys with the no boxing, no life panties and soap dispensers. Now look, man. This is from 6 years ago. This from 2018.
Wow.
So this is when Canelo announced that he'd be formally moving up to the super middleweight division.
Mm-hmm.
This is a young, as you can see. I mean, look how young he is in the face.
Yeah.
This is how long ago Benavidez was talking about fighting Canelo. So he tweeted from his Twitter account, "I would love to welcome Canelo to the 168 division." Now, if you go, you guys can check. And guys, I'm not making this up. This is not me hating. I'm not a Benavidez fanboy. I'm not a Canelo fanboy. I'm just giving y'all the large picture, the facts.
I'm just a messenger.
I'm just a messenger. Don't shoot me. All right. Look at the date.
Holy.
It was 11 in the morning, September 16th, 2018. So we're talking about damn near 6 years to the day. 5 years and some change. We're doing more than half a decade of him being in this weight class for Canelo to fight. So look, Canelo has mentioned the rehydration clause. I know that's a big speaking point for the Canelo fans. They're like, well, why would he fight him when he has a rehydration clause? But look, Canelo tries to be like Floyd so much, but guess what? When Floyd fought Canelo, listen, Canelo rehydrated. Canelo was way bigger than Floyd on fight night. Big, strong. Didn't matter. Got schooled. You know, Canelo's had no problem having a big rehydration advantage over guys like Amir Khan. So now all of a sudden that the shoe's on the other foot, you know, you don't believe in your skills. Floyd believed in his skills enough to get, you know, Canelo, once he rehydrated, he got big. Didn't matter. Floyd shut him out, exposed him. Okay. He believed in his skills. Does Canelo not believe in his skills enough to do that to Benavidez? Like, I don't get it. Canelo is supposed to be a master counterpuncher, super experienced, great defense. Those things should be enough to beat, you know, a volume puncher like Benavidez, who's going to give you all these chances to counterpunch, right? So why? I don't got a dog in the race. Like I said, I'm not no big Canelo or Benavidez fan, but what's the reluctancy here? What's the holdup? I know they're in different weight classes now, but you know, listen, money talks. Benavidez will come down if the money that Benavidez will come down tomorrow. You know.
Yeah.
So what you think? Look how, I mean, guys, if you're just tuning in, all right, I'm not making this up. Y'all see the date, 2018.
Yeah.
All right, y'all see how young Benavidez looks in the face with the WBC belt. He said, "I would love to welcome Canelo to the 168th division." So it's okay to be a Canelo fan. You know, we all fans of somebody, right? But you gotta just call out for what it is, man. Y'all Canelo fans that are defending this bullshit, y'all gotta like just be more honest. I'm not even saying he gotta fight Benavidez, but just be more honest. Like just acknowledge it for what it is. Okay, he feels that right now at this moment in time, and all these years in time that he's been fighting, Benavidez wasn't part of the equation. That Benavidez wasn't a good move from business-wise. We know Canelo's a great businessman, so we're not gonna hate on Canelo for his business acumen, but you can't have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. And that's the problem of a lot of fighters. They want to have their cake. They want to be great businessmen. And a lot of times, you know, many times being a great businessman can sometimes take, you know, you make certain business decisions that, you know, avoid the fights that make you known as a great fighter, right? So you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's some times where we're gonna have to fight another dangerous bad MF, you know, and that's what it is. So you got anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I'm just gonna come out and just say like, you know, you gotta be true to yourself. You're gonna sit here and say all these things about why you chose Munguia and this and that, and don't be too surprised. And Munguia knocks you the fuck out with the power he got too. So you're running away from a big supposedly monster and facing this guy right here. This guy right here is young, he's powerful, and he's coming forward. So you might just put your foot. You might be careful what you wish for in Munguia, and don't think that because you're fighting McGee that's going to give you a clean conscience, because it's not.
All right, so we got some great comments here. I'm gonna have a field day with these. I'm gonna have a field day. Y'all gonna get because I know some of you guys in the chat. Some of you guys only show up when I talk about Canelo. So look, y'all gonna snap me back into 2021 BT this live. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Boxing Magic Mexite says so. Canelo can't be a businessman. Only a fair fighter can. My favorite fighter is Romo Gonzalez, and he's fought all comers. He's fought on any and all comers. There's nothing. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being a businessman, but don't sit here and say nobody can beat this Canelo. Don't be flapping your gums when you're not even fighting the best guys in your weight class. Like, look here. In fact, because I know because I don't want to just speak. I know some of you guys, and shout out to Eric Legend Jr. But I know some of you guys are visual learners, right? And Boxing Magic side, I'm sure he's a visual learner too. And listen, in school, I was a visual learner. Sometimes we need pictures, we need graphs, we need charts. So that's what we're going to do here, right? So we're going to go on BoxRec, good old boxrec.com. And I'm not going to go too deep in this resume, but look, Canelo Alvarez became the undisputed 168 champion when he beat Caleb Plant in November of 2021, correct? So when he beat him, he became the man in the division, picked off all the belts, beat the Billy Joes and the Smiths and all these guys, right? Lost to Bivol. We know what happened here on True School. He got exposed by Bivol. We know that, okay? But that was a light heavyweight. He still maintained his belt at 68. So he's had 3 defenses of the belt, which is impressive. Like, very few fighters even make 1 defense of the undisputed title. This is about to be his 4th defense of the undisputed title. So that in itself is a great accomplishment, and I can tip my cap, and I can acknowledge that about Canelo. But when you check under the hood and you see what he's been doing, let's just call it out for what it is. The first defense of the undisputed title was against Gennady Golovkin, a fighter that obviously had seen better days, a guy that he had 2 great fights with, but the third fight nobody really asked for. Okay, and that was part of that was the second fight that was part of the deal that people didn't want him to sign. Because remember, at that time, he had the deal PBC on the table, and they had to deal with his own. He chose his own deal, which included Bivol and Golovkin. Nobody wanted the third Golovkin fight, and nobody, even with Bivol, people had this revisionist history, but people were calling that a cherry pick. They were saying that that's a fight Canelo should win because Bivol didn't look so good in his last couple of fights against Salamov and Craig Richards. So your first defense of the belt was against a guy who had never competed at 168. That's facts. Golovkin had never had 1 single fight in his entire professional career as a super middleweight fighter, right? The second defense. Now, look, I gave Canelo credit for this fight because I thought John Ryder was one of the more underrated 168 pounders in the world. I thought he beat Callum Smith. I actually think John Ryder at 168, I classed him higher at 168 than Smith and Saunders at 68. Even if he wasn't a better, more talented fighter overall, I thought particularly at 168, Ryder was a better fighter than Billy Joe and Callum Smith. So I didn't have a problem with the fight. I actually got excited about the fight and gave him credit. But the majority of the boxing world did not give him credit for the John Ryder fight. It turned out to be an exciting fight. People were satisfied. But going into the fight, people were calling this a cherry pick. They said this, that, and the third about Canelo, right? So those are 2 fights that nobody really asked for at 68. And then the third fight was you fought a guy who was a 154-pounder and dragged him up to 68. So look, you've had 3 defenses at 168 of the 168 crown against two of which are against non-168 pounders. And, I think as much as I don't like Jaime Munguia is a fighter that is the first legitimate, like, strong, young. Because Ryder had been through some wars. He was a little, on the back 9. But Munguia is young, strong. He seems to be, have his best boxing in front of him. So I think, believe it or not, this fight's going to tell me a lot about Canelo as a 68-pounder.
He's going to get punched out.
What do you think?
He's going to get punched out.
I don't know. I don't know. I actually want Canelo to beat Munguia, but I don't.
I just think he's a younger fighter. He comes forward. He does got power in his punches. And Munguia, he's going to have to hit Munguia, go to that body and try to break that guy down. Because if you don't, and Munguia catches you, I think he'll knock him out. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. Canelo Alvarez can be a businessman. He's been one of the top businessmen in boxing. You can't hate on him for his business acumen. I'm not hating on him. God bless him. He came from selling, I know the story. Like, he came from selling, what was it, popsicles with his family, being poor in Mexico, now to be a multi-million-dollar, fighter, selling out stadiums across the country and around the world. I can't hate on that. God bless him and his success. But what I'm saying is,
a lot of you guys are comparing. Like I've heard a lot of people in the last 3 years, particularly some people in this chat, run their mouth and say he's the best Mexican fighter of all time, which I think is absolutely ridiculous and it's disrespectful. Canelo Alvarez is not even anywhere in the same solar system as Salvador Sanchez. That's the best Mexican fighter of all time.
Will you compare this fight like in the same level as Terrible Morales and what's the other guy he fought that Mexican
Barrera?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
But he will.
He will. But nah, you can't. Another reason you can't do that, you can't compare Munguia, Canelo to Barrera is because those dudes had genuine dislike for each other.
Yeah.
Yo, Munguia and Canelo look like they about to go to carne asada after the damn fight already. Like they're fun, respectful.
Yeah.
Good to see you. I'm not saying that fighters gotta be disrespectful before a fight.
Countrymen, I get it. Yeah.
I'm not saying fighters gotta be disrespectful going into the ring to have a great fight. Because we've seen fights where dudes do a bunch of disrespect and hype it up at the press conference and it's trash. Like look at Brian Norman and Quentin Randall. They talked a big game.
Yeah.
And they put on one of the worst fights of 2023. So that doesn't have any bearing on what goes on in the ring. But what I'm saying is he's already been a businessman. Canelo's already been a businessman. This is the fight. Like I didn't respond to it, but you know, a lot of times I can't respond to these comments because sometimes you guys comment. Some people comment some bullshit, and I'm in a bad mood sometimes, and I might type some crazy stuff. So I gotta let it go. I've learned to let things go. But I saw a guy comment on one of my videos recently, and he said, "It's none of our business who Canelo fights." Fuck you mean it's none of our business? People are paying money to go to his fight. What do you mean it's not their business?
And I will say like this, and you might
it is our business.
You might contradict it with me. You might say, "Oh, his legacy. Legacy means a lot. He's done a lot. I give him that. He's accomplished a lot with the belts." But I will always question who he fought to get those belts when there were better fighters in those divisions that he could have fought. That's what I'm going to say about that. But I'll give him his props because we can't change what's already happened, but what he's done. And I'm going to say what Brandon always says. This is why he can make any fights he wants because his bank has already too many zeros behind it.
Okay, now I'm glad that salute to Manny Gonzalez for this comment because this is going to provide the perfect segue into what I want to talk about. He said Canelo has proved himself already to everybody, right? Now it's funny that he says that because I've been hearing this a lot in boxing. I hear it with we heard it back in the day with Floyd when he didn't want to fight Keith Thurman. Or Kell Brook. We hear it now with Terrence Crawford when it comes to Jaron Ennis, right? And what I want to know is this, guys. At what point, and this is going to be a real talking point of this live. Look at the screen. When does a fighter earn the right to fight whoever they want? Like, what exactly is the criteria for a fighter to pick and choose whoever they want to fight? Because everyone always like to say that they say it for certain fighters who become popular, reach a certain level in boxing, but like, when does someone earn the right? Like, could you imagine, Pops? Could you imagine, like for example, we're big fans of the Florida Panthers, right? You know, our favorite hockey team, right? Could you imagine if the Panthers these last couple of years been in first place, been dominating the Eastern Conference? Could you imagine if we said we don't want to play the New York Rangers, we don't want to play the Boston Bruins? So give us the Columbus Blue Jackets, or imagine Tom Brady, right? What was it? Tom Brady was what, 44, 45? Yeah. Could you imagine after like his second or third Super Bowl, Tom Brady said, I don't want to play Patrick Mahomes. Give me Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. You know, like in no other sport but boxing, do you hear this rhetoric of, oh, well, we don't got to fight the best because we already fought great fighters? Like, no. I mean, I'm not no Andre Ward fan, but I'm gonna quote Andre Ward. Andre Ward said, "Look, man, you gotta when it comes to your reputation, you gotta continue to validate it. Like you gotta get in there over and over and over and over again against the realest and baddest fighters in the world, and you gotta keep proving it." Now, look, I'm not saying that every fight needs to be a killer. I understand the management side of boxing. I understand the business side of boxing. As someone who has aspirations himself to get into the management side of boxing, I understand that part of it. But there's got to be a fine line. If a fighter is in your weight class and he emerges and he's proven himself time and time again, and the public has been asking for the fight year after year after year after year, if you call yourself the face of boxing, right? It's not just it is your responsibility to deliver the fight for the public. Not for me, I don't give a damn, but I'm saying for the public. For your fans, I want to see you shut this guy up because I'm sure of it. I'm sure some of you Canelo fans waving your pom poms in the chat. I'm sure there's that part of you that would love to see Canelo shut up Benavidez, but you're okay with him not not fighting him because he can fight Munguia, who's not as good. Let's be real, he's not as good, and he could beat him, and you could say, well, on paper, Munguia was 43-0, and he had a better record than Benavidez, but that's not really true. He don't got no better resume than Benavidez.
And I would say like this, and I'm gonna call it a black and white, or whatever you want to clear as I can call it. The Mexican fans, most of the Mexican fans make Canelo all those paychecks. So why can't you give him a gift back and give him the fight they want to see?
Oh my God, nah. That's how I know we got casuals here. How has Benavidez proven himself? Who has he beat? He beat some of the same guys Canelo beat. He beat Caleb Plant. He beat Caleb Plant. He beat the guy that Canelo was fighting to death to fight for almost a decade, Demetrius Andrade. And I'm not even a Benavidez fan. I'm glad he's at 75. I'm just telling you, how has he proven himself? He's literally the youngest super middleweight champion in the history of the fucking sport. Super middleweight, the same division that Joe Calzaghe competed in, the same division that Roy Jones competed in, the same division that Bernard Hopkins competed in, the same division that James Toney competed in, the same division that Canelo competed in, and he was the youngest one with a belt. So what do you mean? How has he proven himself? When did Canelo prove himself? How about that? How about we go there? When did Canelo prove himself at 68? Oh, you're going to say he beat Callum Smith. Callum Smith, listen, man. Everyone who could be honest with themselves knows Callum Smith wasn't like that.
And he thought he could be Bivol at 175.
He thought he could be better.
Cherry pick gone wrong.
What happened. You see what happened. So I don't want to hear none of this, but when did he prove himself?
Well, the bottom line, all those questions can be answered if your boy Canelo will fight him in the ring.
Do you really think Canelo was scared of Boo-Boo? I mean, look.
Let's pass.
I don't want to bring that up because I've already spoken enough about that. All I'll say is this. I was in the man's presence. I spoke to Canelo myself, and I asked him myself why he didn't fight Andre. And I didn't sense a guy who had the heart to do it.
Man, and you want to derail from your question when your boy Canelo don't want to fight, Gonzalez don't want to fight Benavidez, so you want to derail it to Boo-Boo Andre. Come on, man. Get real.
Shout out to Hockey. He says Munguia is showing too much respect to Canelo in the press conference. Benavidez will not show the same respect. Canelo is champion. And that's another thing. One thing Canelo said at the press conference was, because they asked him, you were saying in the past you didn't want to fight any Mexicans because you were the representative of Mexican boxing. But he said, I changed my mind because I'm so happy to give it to somebody who's so respectful like Munguia. So
he's just disciplined. Oh, what did he say? No, he said he doesn't want to fight a fighter like he didn't say Benavidez, but he says more or less referred to. He doesn't want to fight a fighter that just comes to the fight 25 pounds overweight.
Boxing magic. Boxing magic Mex side. I'm gonna say it like this, and you will not get addressed no more of this live because you've been a Canelo dick rider for year after year after year. I only ever see you when I talk about Canelo, so I'm gonna leave you with this. I have forgotten more boxing in half a day than you will ever come to know in your life. All right. You could write what you know about boxing on the back of a milk carton with a fucking yellow crayon. So I'm gonna leave you at that.
And keep puffing on Canelo's
and keep puffing on that Canelo pack. Casual
on your
channel.
picture, yeah. Come on,
He says, what's good, BT Pops? When are you gonna post one of your sparring sessions, True School? When I ain't sparring them, I just be training. But I mean, I posted a short from what was it, 2 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
I did a little sparring session, but I gotta do a better sparring session. So I'll post one soon. But good to see you, Brandon. If Canelo doesn't fight Benavidez by the end of the year and instead fights Palanga, that's when he's gonna really hear it. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. I still think Canelo's prideful enough to where if he were to beat Munguia, because remember, the PBC deal is a one-off deal. So he's gonna be a free agent again. He can move up, he can do whatever he wants after that from a promotional standpoint. I'm gonna maintain hope that he winds up and he goes and he fights Benavidez at the end of the year. Not for my sake, but for the boxing fan, for the ones that have been, because people were badgering me for years about this fight. So just for them, for their sake, for the sake of boxing. All right, but another thing I wanted to address, right? I want to address this. And by the way, I still haven't, you Canelo fans haven't addressed the issue here. I asked the question, you can see it right there. When does a fighter earn the right to fight whoever they want? Nobody can answer that question. People like to say it when people like to say it
They're gonna say because he picked up.
People like to say it when it's convenient for fighters they like to not fight certain opposition. Like an example, and I'm a huge Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is one of my favorite boxers of all time. But what he's, him getting a pass to fight, not fighting Jerron Ennis, not cool. There should be more pressure on him to fight Jerron Ennis. But the same thing that they say for Canelo not fighting certain guys, same thing they use for Crawford. Same thing they use for Mayweather, When does a fighter, I want to know that because nobody's ever told me. Nobody's ever like spelled that out for me. I know it's been used before. I know like guys in the past like Sugar Ray and all these guys, once they reach a certain level, they can do whatever they want because the money they generate. But like what is the exact criteria? I wanna get to the bottom of
the blueprint.
I want to establish a criteria. So from now on, when I watch a fighter, when I see what they're doing, I can say, you know what? No. Now he's ticked all the boxes, so he don't gotta fight that guy. I want there to be clarity. I don't think there's clarity when it comes to that. Everyone just says it when they want to. Like you with Andrade and Janny Beck for almost a year. I criticize Andrade. What are you talking about? What are y'all talking about? I criticize Andrade. You must not be here. You must have had Johnny Beck's.
No, don't say that.
Let me just chill out.
Thank you for your comment.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate you. He says, I didn't get the Bivol fight wrong. I didn't get that one wrong. It's crazy, man. You would think, and I'm addressing Boxing Magic Mexico. You would think, right? Because I remember you dick riding Canelo in the comments 3-4 years ago. You would think that you would have, in 3 years, you would have matured and learned half a thing or two about boxing, but you still there, you still blind, you still just, you got to hold on, to Canelo so much you can't see. I'm not saying he's not a good fighter. He can fight his ass off. Obviously, you don't make the kind of money he's made not being able to fight your ass off. But come on, man, just call it for what it is. But anyway, somebody please just answer the question: When does a fighter earn the right to do whatever they want, and what is the criteria? Because it's just something I hear said throughout the years. I never hear nobody ever like really establish break it down.
Then you're gonna say money.
I know the answer. No, I know the answer, but I want people. I want boxing geniuses like Boxing Magic Mexide to tell me. But on another note, in regards to this whole situation, okay, where is it? I had it right here. Where is it? So Benavidez had an interesting comment, right? I think it was right over here. Yeah. So yesterday he had a comment and he said, I quote, as you guys can see on the screen, "Just wait on it. Don't be surprised when this fight happens in September."
He said that?
That's what Benavidez said. He said that.
So you think he knows something?
So he may know something that we don't. Like I said, the Canelo fight with Munguia is a one-fight deal with PBC. We know Canelo has one great thing that he's done in his career. He's been able to sign these short-term contracts and move as he sees fit. He's done it with the Zone, done it with PBC. Now he's back with PBC again. Mm-hmm. So if he wants to renegotiate and drop another contract out him, and they can go ahead and do that. Yeah. Now look, we know that Canelo has named his price, and I can't think of a time, maybe when Floyd fought Pacquiao, but even then, it's like who in America is going to give Canelo Alvarez $150 to $200 million? Now, as you guys can see on the screen, this may be a fight that if that's the money he's asking for, mm-hmm. Well, then guess what? There's only one place this fight can go to. Yeah. What do you think that is?
Turkey al-Sheikh.
Turkey al-Sheikh, Saudi Arabia. So, Pop, what do you think about, and to the chat, what do you think about Canelo potentially fighting Benavidez in Saudi?
He'll definitely get his $135 million there. They're throwing money like it's ice cream, like it's pennies out of his pocket. So.
Get the Arab money going.
Yeah, so that could probably happen, and but it's all gonna come back. The reality is it all gonna come back to what Canelo does? Even let's say hypothetically, we really know what's gonna happen. This is what Benavidez just brought out. He's taking out. But what happens if it does happen and they offer me the $135 million, then he comes up with some excuse?
I don't know. We have to wait. Listen. I'm gonna be optimistic. I think Canelo is too shrewd and too smart a businessman to where if the Saudis came with a correct offer, that they would make the fight. Yeah. Now, I gotta be honest about Benavidez, right? Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna call. I'm not. See now. Yeah. See this. I'm fair. I'm not no fanboy. Yeah. All right. This is where I'm gonna turn it around on Benavidez. Mm-hmm. If whatever the case may be, if the fight can't happen on PBC because the money just isn't there, the money that Canelo's asking for isn't there, and the money that Benavidez is asking for isn't there, will Benavidez be allowed to go fight in the Middle East. Now, look,
that's Al Heyman too. Right?
I gotta be honest.
Oh shit.
Benavidez did an interview recently, and he was asked about fighting Canelo on the zone, and to that he said, "No, why do I gotta go to the zone? You know, I'm getting paid good money here with PBC and Al Heyman. You know, so he's gonna have to maybe fight in circumstances that are a bit different if he wants to fight.
I'm gonna say like this.
He's got to go to Canelo's.
I'm gonna say like this, and I'm not trying to put a black eye on Boots Ennis. When they were loyal to the former Showtime, and when what's a black whatever that fighting thing was with
BLK Prime.
BLK Prime offered him $10 million to fight, he turned it down because of loyalty and why they got him. So if I was Benavidez and Canelo's gonna get $135 million over there, and they're gonna give me $40 million, you know what I'll do? I'm fucking jumping ship. You know why I'm jumping ship?
Yeah, but my thing is, it's not that simple.
I know. Whatever.
You can't just jump ship.
Oh, right. Okay, it's not that simple. But if you're gonna make a bunch of money over there, a lot more than what you're making now, and even if you jump ship, you gotta pay good old Al Heyman whatever he wants.
You can't just jump ship. Listen.
Okay, keep that.
He tried to listen. Most of you guys don't even realize this. Benavidez tried to jump ship years ago before he became champion. He was trying to go to Top Rank to fight Gilberto Soto Ramirez, and he actually signed a deal with Top Rank very briefly. But then Samson had to top the Bob era, and then they pulled Benavidez from Top Rank.
Okay,
that was actually a real thing.
You don't think that could happen then? No.
If it could have happened then, I'm telling you right now, with more money, it ain't happening now. Samson Lukowicz is, first of all, let me be respectful. I love Samson Lukowicz. He's a great person. I met him at the WBA convention. Very smart boxing guy. You know, he actually wanted to negotiate a fight with me and a fighter that he thought I was representing.
Mm-hmm.
But Samson, most of his fighters tend to work with PBC and Al Heyman. So I think if this fight's gonna happen, they're gonna try to gear it towards there. But look, Canelo's named his price, and you know, PBC just got with Amazon. We don't really know what the financials are for Amazon Prime. If Amazon Prime is willing to help front the money for the fight,
but who's to say Alex Sheik might say, okay, I'm gonna pay Canelo what he wants, I'm gonna pay Benavidez what he wants, and Mr. Al Heyman, I'm gonna pay you what you want.
Well, they gotta take it up with Al.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that could happen that way because he got money to piss all over the place. I'm talking about Alex Sheik. So that could happen that way too. They say, Mr. Al Heyman, we're going to give you whatever you ask for the asking price for this fight because I know it's going to generate a lot of money in Saudi Arabia, and I'll pay the fighters too. How about that?
Shout out to Usam. He says, one thing these bitch-ass fans are living in the States, dick sucking Canelo, but Canelo is catching heat in Mexico. Just look at the comments on socials. He cannot run anymore.
Oh, wow. Good point.
Victor J is asking the pertinent questions here. By the way, shout out to the Sixers, man. He says, what prime A-level fighter did Canelo beat without controversy? So you have to name all the prime A-level fighters he's fought, which would be what? Bivol, Floyd, Golovkin. And all those guys he lost to or beat with controversy. So there you go. Those are the names.
And the other ones he fought and won weren't the top-level guys he fought. Simple as that. Shout out to the Sixers, Andrew Toney, Dr. J, Bobby Jones.
When Canelo beats Benavidez, I don't really care. Look, I'm not a big fan of either guy, so I don't have a dog in the race. I want Benavidez to fight Beterbiev so I can be proven right on that, you know.
You want Bivol to fight Benavidez too?
Yeah, either the winner of that fight can fight. I'd rather see that. But it's the boxing fans, it's the people that come in my comments all the time saying Benavidez, Canelo. That's why I'm talking about it. That's the only reason I'm talking about it, because the boxing public cares about it. Canelo just wants a big payday. He's used to making $30 to $50 million a fight.
But doesn't he want to have that legacy fight in Mexicans?
No, his legacy. Listen, in Canelo's mind, his legacy's already cemented because he already became the first Mexican to become undisputed 4-division champion. You know, he's made a lot of money in the sport. You know, so I could listen. I'm not a hater. I could see where he's coming from. But my thing is, this ain't a 1-year thing. Like, we've been hearing about this damn Benavidez fight since you entered the damn division years ago. So, like, just why don't you just do what
that's right,
what's fighting, and give the boxing public the fights they want.
And that's bottom line. Fight Munguia, fight Benavidez in Saudi Arabia, whatever you want to do. But leave with your head up. You're always going to have questions, no matter how much you accomplish, whatever you did in your belts, we respect you for that. But you're going to have questions. Did you fight the best to beat all the belts, to win all the belts, whatever? And I guarantee you some of those belts are always going to be the question. But if he stands up now, because people only remember what the last thing he did.
I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was coming. Why do you always say the Mexican fighters Benavidez?
Some of your favorite fighters.
My favorite from where? Mexico?
Yeah.
Of all time? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, Salvador Sanchez.
So where you go?
I like Gallo Estrada. I like plenty of Mexican fighters. Just because I'm not a fanboy of the most mainstream Mexican guys doesn't mean I hate Mexican fighters as a whole. Y'all need to stop. Y'all need to stop doing that. Y'all need to really stop. Like, just because someone doesn't like a particular fighter, then you want to generalize that they don't like fighters from the entire country.
He just met Marquez.
Just fucking had a whole conversation with Marquez.
We thought about.
What are you talking about?
Holy shit.
Is Canelo's legacy been cemented? Yes or no? I mean, he's gonna go to the Hall of Fame with or without Benavidez. So yeah, in that regard, yeah, it has been cemented. But if he's still boxing, if he's still running his mouth saying he's the best fighter in the world, then you got to fight the best. You got to actually continue to do things to validate that.
It's always gonna be. Whether you want to sit in and keep smoking and arguing, Magic Man, you're always gonna have people sit question someone with the belts that he won. When he could have fought better levels at that year when he fought for the belts with the opponents he chose.
Benavidez needs to stop ducking David Morrell. Listen, I love that fight. At this point, that'd be one of the best fights you can make. But at the same time, while you're sitting there pointing at Benavidez, and I know y'all don't like when I talk about Benavidez, but Canelo gotta stop ducking David Morrell because look, I know y'all are visual learners, so let's be visual again. All right.
Oh no.
Y'all want to say, and I agree with you. I think Benavidez should fight David Morrell. So I'm not saying I disagree with you. I think his name is Manny. But look, David Morrell is the WBA regular champion. He's been sitting there for a hot minute. He's been sitting there for a hot minute as the WBA regular champion, basically the mandatory challenger
for Alvarez.
For Canelo Alvarez. So yes.
What are you talking?
Well, I agree that Benavidez needs to stop ducking David Morrell.
And
listen. Benavidez has to stop ducking David Morrell, but you know what? So does Canelo. They all need to stop ducking David Morrell. How about that one?
Yeah.
How about that one? Because David Morrell's been beating everybody up that they put in front of him and doing it in sensational fashion. So I agree with you, but just make sure you tell the whole picture. Bro, if Benavidez would have beat Morrell, he would have been Canelo's double mandatory.
Holy crap. Good point.
Yeah, man. I thought after he beat Andre, that's a fight that they should have won after. But, I wouldn't mind 175. 175 is great. 175 is where like the tougher fights are. With Benavidez and Bivol. Boxing Magic Mech side. That's what I'm saying. You over here running your mouth. You keep saying, how the hell is a guy that's a former lineal champion, former WBO champion, Olympian, all those great things. How is Alexander Gvozdyk a cherry pick? What are you talking about? Alexander Gvozdyk is a tougher fight than everybody that Canelo fought at 68. What are you talking about? A cherry.
Does he know who I got?
I'm not sure. You can't. Stop lying. Y'all call Morrell a cherry. I also seen happen. You see a lot of things but the truth. You see a lot of things.
You smoking too much,
You smoking too much. Swear on my life. You see a lot of things. You've been smoking that granddaddy perp, that granddaddy kush.
Whatever it is good. Keep smoking it.
Keep smoking it,
man. Come back to reality, my brother.
Gvozdyk wasn't retired. Gvozdyk came back last year. He had 2 stability fights. He's back active again. He's not retired. You're wrong.
They say he was retired.
He was retired. Benavidez beat the brakes off him, and he did retire. But he came back last year. He got active, and he's ready to fight. What's the deal with the amateur app you're working on? I've addressed this many times, but I'll address it again. Nothing came of it. Sean Porter just, I don't know. He just
got too much
going on and didn't really communicate with me. So he's doing his thing. I'm doing my thing, but it's still all love, and I love Sean Porter. I just seen Sean last month when I was in Vegas. It was all love, but he ain't. Listen, I'm a yes man. My door is open. So if Sean Porter call me tomorrow and say anything about it, I'll be working on it. But nothing came of it. So that's the truth. That's just the truth. How is it okay? All right, you're done. You about to get blocked.
No,
how is he a nobody? How is he a nobody? He was the lineal champion at light heavyweight. His only loss is to Artur Beterbiev.
He gave you like Harold. I'll give you.
Dude is coming off a 2-year retirement. No, he's not. He fought twice last year. That is not. Oh God, because look, you guys are visual learners. I'm not gonna call you idiots because that's what I want to call you. I want to call you an idiot because you sound like a fucking retard. But like,
you get deep in thought.
That's for my life, bro.
Sorry, guys.
You sound retarded. I know. I do mean that.
Yeah.
You sound retarded. So we're gonna hold on. You want screen share? Just want to make sure you want screen share. Look.
Yeah.
Okay, this is Alexander Gavazzi. This is Benavidez' next opponent, right? You're telling me he came off a 2-year retirement. Okay, he fought Benavidez in 2019. He actually had a 4-year retirement. All right, so you can't even get the damn layoff right. It was a 4-year retirement. And then look, we're in 2024. Last year was 2023. He had 2 stay busy fights, 3 stay busy fights. He fought 3 times last year.
The Einstein class.
I think he fought Canelo.
Math.
He fought more than Canelo last year. He fought somebody more after the Canelo last year. So what are you talking about?
He just hate you better. That's all. It's all good though. We love the hate.
That's what I'm saying.
We love you. We love it.
And I don't even like Benavidez.
I know. I mean, we're just saying that the public, the Mexican fans, really want to see that fight. That's what we're saying. I'm glad he's fighting Munguia. Okay, that's what he's done that, but he can't. That's not an answer. Or him using that to cover up the Benavidez fight. But if again Benavidez put out that thing, it happens. Man, I'm gonna have to call Alex Cheek myself. I was out there for the war, so I'm gonna have to go to his house. His thing out there, go out there in my Cavalier, in my M16, and go. Hey, I was out here with the 82nd Airborne. The Sheik, get in here and make this fight with Benavidez and Canelo, and pay Mr. Al Haymon whatever he wants.
What's that punk ass comment from Hyro? Where is it?
Is here?
He said you were a fan of a guy you weren't even born and never unified at 126. You're a fan of Nas, and your ass wasn't born. I've heard Hyro. I've heard you listen to music from shit way before you was born. So don't come over here flapping your gums talking about you were a fan of Salvador Sanchez. He was born there. You were a fan of Nas. All right. I've heard you played music for me when I call you talking about this I like rap from the 90s. You wasn't even born in the 90s. So what are y'all talking about?
He don't like Canelo. He don't like Benavidez. Hyro.
No, he likes. I don't know who he likes.
Hyro, when do you want that fight though? Benavidez and Canelo.
He likes Munguia because he said Munguia's in his real weight class.
Hyro, I'm sorry to tell you, I can't get upset.
Let me ask you this question, Pops. Because we got this is gonna be a 1 hour live, so we got 18 minutes left. Mm-hmm. And I'll have to chat this too. As far as the Munguia side of things, let's say Munguia throws a big fat wrench into the plans of Canelo and beats him on May 4th. Do you think Munguia fights Benavidez? Do you think they make a fight?
They asked him. You know who asked him?
Who? Yeah.
To KO
KO Christie.
Yeah, she came out and she asked him right straight up, "Will you fight Benavidez if you win the belt?" He said, "Yeah."
Yeah.
But that's what they say. We'll find out. But hey, he's young, 2 young bucks. If Canelo can't do it, and he's got to take the belt from Canelo to do it, so be it. Somebody got to do it. But it'll still be the same thing. The question we can see, people want to see Canelo with Benavidez.
I swear. That's what I'm saying, bro. You keep saying I'm the casual, bro. He said, dude said he was linear champion versus who? I don't know. A guy named Adonis Stevenson, one of the biggest punchers in the fucking sport. Like, what do you mean? Against who? I'm sorry. I'm done. I like Hyro, congratulations. You have found someone in the chat more casual than you. Congratulations. Jesus, man. What is he smoking? He fought Nelson, Gomez, Lopez, which are all Hall of Famers. Yeah. Who would you like Canelo to fight after Benavidez in a win situation, in a loss situation? I don't know what you mean by that. I guess 68. I mean, Morrell. I mean, if I had it my way, if I was the commissioner of boxing, Benavidez would be fighting Morrell right now. Canelo could probably just stay busy in the meantime, and then the winner could fight Canelo. That's probably what I would do. But if win, lose, or draw, I mean,
in a good world,
who could he fight? I would like to see him. I'll tell you like this. Okay, so if Canelo fights Dave Benavidez, he can. I think after that point, if he still wants to box, he's earned himself a straight cherry. Like pick the number 15 guy in the rankings if you want and fight him. Okay, and then after that, what I would like Canelo to do is put his 168 belts on the line against Dimitri Bivol. That's what I want, because that's a Bivol requested. I want to see if Bivol could beat him at 168 and take the belts off him at 68. But Canelo didn't want to see that. That's why they didn't fight. But
you think if there was a chance for him to fight Benavidez if he'll fight him? Canelo?
Huh?
Canelo for the hell of it. I know he's at 175, but let's say Benavidez said, after I beat Bivol, I want to fight Canelo. Canelo, come up here. For your ass beaten. No. Bivol doesn't want to fight Canelo. I know.
Beterbiev?
Yeah.
He ain't doing that. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? Canelo
fighter like that.
Canelo was, listen, remember when Canelo beat Kovalev?
Yeah.
I never see anybody drop a belt so fast in their life. Before people could even write the articles to talk about Canelo fighting Benavidez.
He said, "Hell no, yeah."
Listen, that's one, guys. That's one fight you guys never have to hold.
Right there.
You guys never have to hold your breath about. You will never have to hold your breath about Canelo Alvarez going to fight Artur Beterbiev because he knows what would happen to him if they ever fought.
You see, he didn't request another rematch, did he? Hell no, he didn't request.
Oh, by the way, I forgot you mentioned rematch with Munguia.
Yeah, anyway.
Did you hear about that?
No.
There's a rematch clause. Canelo has the rare rematch clause in the Munguia fight. He doesn't. Canelo's not
just for him to crack.
Canelo's not really a rematch clause type of guy, but he
all of a sudden
he's got a rematch clause in this fight.
So what he should have done was fought Munguia and gave the fans the Benavidez, right? Because I'll be honest, for the Mexican fans, they might want to see them fight twice. Me, I don't. I think if Munguia, if you're telling me that, I'm telling you what's going to happen then.
What's going to happen?
Canelo's going to win, beat Munguia, keep the belts. And he's gonna wait another 1,000 years and go back and fight Munguia again because he doesn't want to fight Benavidez.
Do you know what would be the perfect storm for Canelo? I'm gonna tell you what would be the perfect storm for Canelo. Canelo beats Munguia in either a competitive fight but a clear win that's competitive enough to warrant a rematch, or Canelo wins or loses a controversial fight that demands rematch. Because then what could happen is that's gonna delay the timeline even more for Canelo having to fight a guy like Benavidez. Yeah. So now he'd be tied up for the whole year.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So that's actually smart on his part. If he doesn't want to fight Benavidez, that's the smart.
That's what he's doing. He's gonna and even though I think we hate Canelo, we don't. He's got a great manager behind him. I will say that. Reynoso's been the best manager, the best guy guiding him because he knows how to clearly pick the right matches for Canelo, which fighters to fight. He's managed him throughout his career from the beginning, so I will give respect to Reynoso and Canelo too. I just think that I'm old school, and I probably happened in my time too. I like to see top of the top. When they look at my legacy and my record, they say I fought the best, and that's it. Because you can say whatever you said about, for example, you can say whatever you want about Barrera and Morales. But when people look at those two fighters, they say, "Damn, these motherfuckers still probably put 3 times with each other and gave us a great fights." That's what you can say.
Hyro says, "Bud can't make the weight no more. You're trying to make weight. Let him go on 54 because he earned it. If Boots wants to fight, then go to 54." I'm okay with that, but the thing is, it don't matter if Boots is at 54. And I've actually mentioned Boots going to 54 to fight Crawford.
Yeah.
Okay. But Crawford, I literally asked Brian McIntyre myself in real life. Okay. Do you at least think that Boots is the second best welterweight in the world besides Bud? And he said, we don't really pay attention to him because we already cleared out the division. And then he was like, that's a hell of an answer. He was like celebrating, ducking my answer. Yeah. And then as far as that fight, they've said many times that Boots brings nothing to the table. So,
well, a lot of people,
they're not interested in the fight.
Well, what a lot of people saying about Boots is that he really hasn't proven himself at all. He hasn't fought like anybody to get all the worthiness, and that's what they're going to argue the point. But my point is, if the fans say that Boots Ennis is a special fighter at 147, or if he moves up to 154, why can't Crawford just do that? That's like, I mean, when you first came up and you were a hungry fighter, you would fight anybody. Why would your mentality change now just because you got more zeros in the bank account?
Yeah, because you're comfortable.
I know.
He got horses and shit.
He got horses. Well, you talking about Spence when he was in the farm too, riding his horses and all this. But that's what I'm saying. But you still want that legacy. Like we just talked about Canelo. We want him to keep.
He's going to the Hall of Fame with or without Benavidez.
Yeah, I know that. I know. So I know. No, I'm not hating on Canelo. He's gonna be one of the spoken Mexican fighters up in the top. But to say that he's the greatest Mexican of all time, I will never put him in the same level of Barrera and Morales because of how they fought.
Manny Gonzalez, man. I gotta give it to you, Manny. You a real Canelo fan, man. He said Canelo didn't stop Ryder because he was coming off hand surgery. It wasn't 100%. And he didn't stop Charlo because he ran the whole fight. So listen, man, I give you respect, man. You love Canelo, and I respect people that love their fighters. But listen, he didn't stop Charlo because he wasn't good enough to stop Charlo. There's no such thing as a guy ran. You guys know how small a boxing ring is? You know how hard it is to run in a boxing ring? There's no such thing as running. If you didn't stop him, it was because you weren't good enough to stop him. How about that? Mm-hmm. Now you're in the way fought Paul Butler. Paul Butler came to survive, didn't open up, ran as much as he could, and guess what? Still got stopped. So if you really are who you say you are, you find a way to stop those kind of opponents that are cautious.
And I'll say it again too. I lost a lot of respect for Charlo in that fight. He was too friendly. The same thing with Munguia, being his buddy. And even Canelo said that in the whole press conference. This guy's being too friendly with me. Like, really?
He says, yeah, don't love fighters, love boxing. I'm saying, like, I mean, you guys see it. I got the Roman Gonzalez headband on the wall. I love Chocolatito, but even him, even when he was on his Twitter account shooting off at the mouth about Sonny Edwards and these kind of things, I'm like, okay, well, if you should fight him. You ain't doing anything else, so why don't you go fight him? You know, but so even if he's not exempt for criticism,
he don't get a pass.
Even he don't even get a pass. So
usually, yeah.
Canelo sure as hell don't get one, but yeah. If you're the best, you should be able to stop a fighter who doesn't want to engage. Listen, if you're the best fighter in the world, really and truthfully, you should be able to dissect any style. That's why, you know what? For me, like, in terms of being able to dissect any style you put in front of them, the top 3 fighters in boxing in no order, but for me, as far as dissecting your opponents, Crawford, Inoue, Benavidez, because it don't matter who you put in front of either one of those 3.
They're gonna figure
any style, tall, short, pressure fighter, boxer, counter puncher. They figure you out, and when they figure you out, they beat you up, and that's why they are where they are, and they're so highly regarded. You know. BT, can I hate Canelo because him ducking Benavidez all these years? Listen, I mean, I know you're in Malaysia, but this is an American channel, so it's your constitutional right. Do what you want, you know. Look, I don't hate the person. I just hate the decision. You know, I don't hate Canelo because I don't know Canelo in real life, but I definitely hate what him, like, as far as him with the whole $200 million things, because now it's to the point where it's undefendable.
You contradicted yourself.
It's undefendable.
Contradict yourself, and then you have the same person that you made the offer to came back and put it in your face. You say I'm no value, but then you put value on my fight.
Shout out to Goat. He says, ABT, I'm gonna send you the receipts later, but Turkey's gonna offer that big duck weight bully Morrell at 175. He refused it at 168. We're taking his spot at 175. Winner. Oh, you're talking about Benavidez? So shout out to Ghost. Ghost, we're not gonna disclose his actual name, but he works in the management side of boxing. He's saying that Benavidez ducked Dave Morrell. Like, and I'm telling you, if he's saying it,
it's real.
There's some truth to it.
That's somebody deep in boxing.
Yeah, send me the receipts later so I can see for myself.
Holy crap!
I would love that fight at 75.
Benavidez ducked him?
Of course.
Holy crap!
Of course. All these guys, listen, because it's the same thing. That's why I'm saying I don't get mad no more, because what I've come to understand about boxing is that anybody who gets into position to duck somebody and they can big time someone, they will. You know, it is what it is. Bivol Beterbiev. I'm gonna go with both great fighters. Respect them both. I'll go Arts Beterbiev. He can box. He can punch. He's a complete fighter. I don't think Bivol is gonna have the firepower to keep him off the whole fight. And everyone keeps thinking that Bivol is gonna outbox him, and they forget that Arts Beterbiev is a world class boxer himself. So don't be surprised if Beterbiev even outboxes him, because he's got a world class jab. By the way, where are the Shaw haters at? The champ got a knockout in like 14 seconds. We back. Anybody can get it. Shaw, the next. And that's why
tell him go say.
You know what I can say? I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway. One thing I can say about Stephen Shaw, you know, he took some tough losses. As far as like fighting F.A. Jabba, he lost a close fight. Yeah, lost a close fight to Joe Goodall as well. But I'm gonna tell you like this, man. And it goes. I'm gonna expose Shaw, but in a good way. All right. I know so many fighters that did not want to fight Filip Hrgović. Like, not I think. I'm talking about shit that I really know.
This is fact
from just people and things in boxing. Mm-hmm. He accepted the fight. He said he would be down for it.
Wow. And, you gotta respect anybody.
I respect him.
All the big
he didn't even ask no money. He didn't ask nothing. He said, sign the contract. Respect the Shaw. You know?
Some of the other favorite heavyweights that people think will be so tough to want to do it.
He said, yes, sir. Last time I checked, Ghost Merle's a PBC and Luis de Cubas. Yeah. The PBC legend has spoken.
Yeah.
Turkey can't get the Americans to Saudi. BT, the business of boxing's plan is to have Benavidez unify at 168 and then face the winner. Bivol Beterbiev to have us. No. Right now, I mean, Benavidez is a 175 pounder, so he's testing the waters against a former champion, and then I think he'll make a decision from there. It could be. I don't know what the overall plan is. I just know that Benavidez is trying to fight the Bivol Beterbiev winner. That I do know. Parker, Ruiz, Bacoli, Hunter, Ortiz, and a handful of others on the Hrgovic duck. Yes, Parker twice, Ruiz twice, Bacoli, Hunter, Ortiz, Dempsey McKean one time, Dempsey McKean, Murat Kasiev, Jared Anderson.
Yeah. But Dubois wants to fight him, so I give respect to Dubois.
So much respect to Dubois. 5 more minutes, guys, and I'm gonna get off. Get your questions going and make sure you smash that like button. Giving y'all the rare, the daytime live. Nah, Morrell is Warriors boxing, not PBC. Lewis usually works with PBC, but his fighters have fought elsewhere recently. Example: Frank Sanchez in Saudi. Yep.
Okay. Good point, Ghost.
Yeah, but Frank Sanchez, he's like what I think, Ghost. Frank Sanchez is someone that is not a big money guy for PBC. I feel like it's harder to get those bigger money guys to PBC if you're trying to get into like Saudi, another promoter. But Frank Sanchez ain't that high on the priority list. So that's how I feel.
Hrgovic down too?
I don't know about Sanchez.
Okay.
I don't remember him. Yeah. Dubois is gonna be your boy. Listen, I like Daniel Dubois. He's a viewer of this channel. I've been a viewer of him.
He's a fan of our channel.
I love Daniel Dubois. I love Daniel Dubois. I've been a big fan of him. He's fought plenty of people in the division. But Dubois is going to get absolutely murked by Filip Hrgovic. It's.
So you.
I kind of feel. No, I'm serious. I kind of feel bad for what's gonna happen to him. Like I really do.
I'll be honest with you. I would feel bad for whoever.
So Daniel, best of luck, but apologies in advance.
Yeah, God bless.
You know.
I'm gonna say like this. That's my point now. Hrgovic, he's gonna crack anybody that comes in. He's gonna have so much frustration for finally get a good fight that he's been waiting for.
I like the fight though because one thing about it is Dubois can really, really crack, like really, really crack, and so that's gonna force Hrgovic to be more switched on. And I think a more switched on Hrgovic, a more focused Hrgovic, is bad news for anybody heavyweight.
Man, the way I've been hearing
Zhang, he fought, in my humble opinion, the most determined, most hungry version of Zhang there's ever been. Because the Zhang that Parker fought, not to downplay Parker's win, but he was about 10 to 15 pounds heavier.
Mm-hmm.
Hrgovic fought him when he was like in the best shape possible, and he still beat him easy.
He said, I'm gonna smash him. You know what I mean?
Not easy, but he beat him. He beat him. It wasn't easy, but he beat him a little easier than Parker did. Dubois, look, I like Dubois. I don't see it. I don't really see it with
You think he'll take a knee?
Dubois?
Yeah. Yeah. And he said, I mean, and Hrgovic sound real confident. He gonna win the talking game with him. The talking.
Listen. a lot of people.
I like Dubois.
A lot of people ask me in these lives. They say, True School, when are you going to Saudi? Look, I'm not gonna make no promises I can't keep, but if there's ever a fight I'm going to go to, it'll somehow involve Filip Hrgovic. I'll put it to you like that. A bit, and that's a fight I would care enough about to go to Saudi, so I won't rule it out. Mm-hmm. My man Philip Ghost says Philip is gonna put the beats on Dubois. I've seen lesser guys, even prospects like Moses Itama, put a beating on Dubois.
Y'all better take notes if you're going to the casino when Ghost talk. Y'all better take notes.
Do you consider Andy Ruiz's career a failure since he has? No, absolutely not. He obviously he kind of turned into the Mexican Buster Douglas, but no, Andy Ruiz still achieved what almost no fighter gets to achieve in boxing. He was the unified heavyweight champion.
Nobody expected him.
And no one, no matter what happened before or after that happened, no one can ever take that from him. So I wouldn't consider that a failure at all.
I would say he's just living off his.
A lot of guys would trade their careers to have Andy Ruiz's career for sure. Yeah, bro. See, I'm easy. Yeah, he always paying on my boy Hrgovic. Parker got dropped twice. He had to win like every round to barely win. Right? Hrgovic got dropped once, and it wasn't even like the way Parker got dropped. I thought he was ready to go.
Yeah.
Hrgovic got hit with a cuffing shot. Was a very debatable knockdown, right? And he pretty much dominated the second half of the fight. From round 7 to 12, he won the majority of the rounds.
And if you check his recent interview, he came out was saying that. He was saying like, I wasn't even in my best frame of mind. He came on and said,
"Look, we know. Look, I'm not making no excuses for him, but these are the facts. His dad just died months before the fight, and then I'm not gonna say what the other thing is, but he had another thing going on too that we just found out that was really serious. And I'll tell you guys this: if one of your favorite fighters fought with not just the dad thing going on, but with the other thing that we can't say on the live going on, you would be impressed. Yeah. So he's one of the most mentally strong fighters. I know that for a fact in the heavyweight division.
So he's telling you now, I'm in the perfect frame as a crack.
But guys,
he coming.
But guys, look, we have hit the 1 hour mark. I appreciate you guys. We'll be live again tomorrow night. Stay tuned for all the content here on True School Sports. I think, was it tomorrow? Tomorrow night. I don't know if it'll be live, but tomorrow night I'm doing it. I'm gonna be on this one channel tomorrow, so I'll probably post about it soon. But anyway, guys, look, take care. I'm gonna get out of here. Be blessed. Canelo,
drop all your comments, positive, negative.
Canelo, do the right thing. All right, do the right thing, and for your fans and for boxing, and eventually fight Benavidez or whatever. And yeah, like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.